Well, it's looking bad for Tyson Fury. That I can say that. I can say that. In this video, I can say that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Gang, gang. Make sure you smash the like button. Listen, throw a like on the video. I don't know how you found the video, but somehow, some way you arrived at this video. Help others find the video by hitting like. It's free. It's a simple gesture. And I'll get into the content. But I appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. It's fight week. Now, top stories, Google, you see this. It says Tyson Fury feeling, quote, absolutely terrible ahead of Deontay Wilder fight. That's from DAZN. The Daily Star, Tyson Fury feels absolutely terrible. Just 1 week before Wilder fight, Tyson Fury says he feels absolutely terrible from training camp wear and tear. Let's click on one of these. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to them because they were up first. So I'll put the link in the description, Daily Star. But they're all talking about the same thing, it appears. It says Tyson Fury feels, quote, absolutely terrible just a week before the Wilder fight, right? It says Tyson Fury absolutely wounded by Joshua loss, blah, blah, blah. Let's try to get to the good stuff. Tyson Fury has admitted he feels absolutely terrible just 1 week before his fight against Wilder. Gypsy King traveled to Vegas a fortnight ago to compete against blah, blah, blah. This is what Fury says. It said, look at this. Despite not currently being at his best, the two-time heavyweight champion admits he wouldn't be right if he did at this stage. He says, quote, I feel terrible, absolutely terrible, right? But if you did an 8-week training camp and you were just winding down and you feel fantastic, you didn't do it right. That's cap, because I know professional fighters and they had hard sparring. They had good sparring that pushed them, but they didn't get over, like nobody got over on them, and they're injury free. They feel great. They don't feel like just completely broken down and saying I feel absolutely terrible. So that's cap. And I know that from actual fighters. You could be tired and just ready to go and ready to fight, but that doesn't mean you have to feel absolutely terrible. So Tyson Fury, you're on your own. Deontay Wilder is not saying he feels absolutely terrible. He says he feels great, and I'm sure he got some hard rounds in. There's moments maybe he felt like quitting, or he was tired or fatigued or lethargic, but there's levels. So Tyson Fury says, I feel terrible, absolutely terrible. But if you did an 8-week training camp and you were just winding down and you felt fantastic, you didn't do it right. If you just brutalize, hold on, let me pause this. If you just brutalize your body for 8 weeks, training twice a day, 6 days a week, getting battered to bits in sparring by 4 or 5 different guys at a time, if you feel great, then you're a bionic human being. In a week's time, I will feel fantastic. This is Tyson Fury. So he's saying, you know, this is all part of the process. This is the third meeting. Wilder replaced Breland with Malik Scott, blah, blah, blah. One of the moments, but you know, that's the gist of it. So he's admitting that he was getting beat up. He says, if you brutalize your body, training twice a day, 6 days a week, getting battered to bits. These are his own words. By sparring by 4 or 5 different sparring partners. Now, I know old media is not going to like this, but I am truly the greatest in the game. Ego Stradamus strikes again. So everybody bow down. Ego Stradamus strikes again. I made videos about this, right? And Bob Arum was saying that Jared Anderson was sparring. Look, July 3rd, there's me on Google, front page. Tyson Fury sparring Jared Anderson. He gives him HE double hockey sticks. So Bob Arum did an interview. There's the date. The videos are still up. I don't delete any of the videos. July 3rd, right? We're going Benjamin Button and do this in reverse. Made the video. And Bob Arum says that Jared Anderson was pushing Tyson Fury. And I'm like, this sounds about right, because Tyson Fury was showing up looking battered and tattered and black eyes and cuts and cold sores, which is an autoimmune disease and could be brought on by stress since it's autoimmune, right? So I was like, this sounds legit. July 3rd. Y'all said I was lying, right? I also made this video. Look at this. 2 days later, July 5th, there's me again. Google front page. It says, did Tyson Fury get beat up in sparring? And July 5th, I was questioning these things. Before anybody else, I'm like using my platform. You see the thumbnail. Tyson Fury's face looks battered and tattered. You see black eye, you see swelling, you see marks. You guys said the boy Ego was hating for making these videos. And I'm like, man, it looks like he's getting bashed up in sparring. So I just showed you 2 videos, one from July 3rd and one from July 5th, right? I'll have you know that after I release these videos, July 3rd, so right before the 4th of July, July 3rd, July 5th, they were supposed to fight July 24th. So just all you got to do is remember those dates. My videos, Ego Stradamus videos came out July 3rd, the day before the 4th of July. See, I bring y'all the fireworks. It don't matter if it's the 4th of July. July 3rd, July 5th. People agreed with me, but then there were some detractors that said, oh, I'm just hating and blah, blah, blah. July 3rd, July 5th. I'll have you know, days later, guess who pulled out of the fight for July 24th? Tyson Fury. He says he had Rona. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder postponed after Fury tests positive for the Rona, right? So this was literally 3 days after my last video, July 3rd and July 5th. So what are the odds? What are the odds, Patty? What are the odds that I was doing the videos and saying, hey, it looks like Tyson Fury is getting broke up and beat up? So Bob Arum already said Jared Anderson was pushing him to the brink. Then a couple of days ago, I said I started noticing his face. I'm like, he got black eyes and stuff on the 5th. And then guess what? By the 9th, what is this, the 8th? 3 days later, the 8th, you guys see it on the screen, the 8th, he pulls out of the fight. And a lot of people speculate, including Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Oh my God. A lot of people speculate that Tyson Fury wasn't really hurt, injured, sick, ill. He just was getting beat up in sparring. In fact, D-Dub actually said that. The Independent, Tyson Fury is getting beat up in sparring ahead of his rematch, claims Deontay Wilder, right? So Wilder too probably seen all the information or has his own information, and his team believed that Fury was getting bested in sparring and they needed more time to prepare, right? Man, this clearly is not looking good for Tyson Fury, y'all. This is not looking good. Oh man. So once again, I do my videos inferring and wondering if Tyson Fury is getting bested based on Bob Arum's comment. July 3rd, I did my video. July 5th, 3 days later, he pulls out, said he has the Rona. I didn't believe him with the Rona, especially since he was pulling up to the strip and he was taking pictures with fans with no mask on, and they said he had Rona. And then members of his team who also, they said they had Rona, like Joseph Parker, went to the Conor McGregor fight. Listen, I've done videos on all of these things, all of these topics. Not one topic am I mentioning that I have not done a video for. So if you love boxing, hit the subscribe button, hit the join button for the latest and greatest. So this just looks bad. I didn't believe Fury with the Rona. But wait, there's more. Now we find out that Tyson Fury in his failed Rona did not provide any proof, any documentation that he actually failed a Rona test. He didn't provide anything to Wilder's people or NSAC, Nevada State Athletic Commission. And I did a video about that as well. So fast forward to the future. What does this mean? It's fight week. I cannot wait for this fight. Now Fury's saying, I feel terrible, absolutely terrible. And he says like, hey, just chalking it up as this is part of the game. And I'm training hard and I'm sparring guys and they're beating me up. So you guys got mad when I put those videos out, but he's telling you he's getting beat up in sparring. Ego Stradamus strikes again. I must be the greatest, right? What does this mean? I feel terrible, absolutely terrible. It looks like Fury, now he doesn't have his magic potion with the glove gate. He's starting to have second thoughts and doubts because he knows what he signed up for. He done made the bull mad, right? And now he has to deal with it. And he knows he's going to be under a microscope. They got Don House, who helped INSAC with the rapping protocols and stuff like that. Wilder is hip to the gamesmanship and strategies and the cheating. And Wilder confirms in the PBS special that he believes Fury cheated still. And now Fury's talking about, I feel terrible, absolutely terrible. So they're already setting the stage for Tyson Fury when he gets knocked out to say he lost because he wasn't motivated, or he had too hard a time in sparring, or an injury in sparring. And now you're seeing the whole demeanor of Fury's camp change. And it's funny because, look, this is Tyson Fury's own dad, the man that brought him into this world along with his mother. Tyson Fury's dad is worried his son could suffer shock. Deontay Wilder lost. This was earlier in May. Then Fury came out, and his dad later came out and switched it and started talking gangster and saying that, oh, Wilder's going to get smashed to bits, and, you know, I only need a 3-day camp to whoop him, and all this far-fetched stuff. But you can see Fury is deteriorating, and, you know, he's now confirmed that he feels terrible and he was getting whooped in sparring, you know? So there can't be no excuses. May the best man win. I can't wait for this fight, but it's looking bad. It looks like Fury did need more time. How is it that when I say stuff, Wilder says stuff, it seems to come true? Wilder doubted the Rona. Wilder's team doubted the Rona. Ego doubted the Rona. Fury was renting luxurious cars and seen in the pubs and the strips, you know, nightlife. And I made videos about all this. Now Tyson Fury saying he feels absolutely terrible in sparring and things, you know, and this just goes to the rumors. And they paid Jared Anderson very high praise, like he's going to be a future champion and this, that, and the third. So they must really rate him. And he probably has an NDA, so he's not going to admit it and say I whoops Tyson Fury. He probably, you know, he'll mess up his money doing that. So he's not going to come out and probably say it, but it's not looking good for Tyson Fury. It's not looking good at all. Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder's side definitely not saying anything, but there can't be any excuses. And I think a lot of people are giving Tyson Fury far too much credit. They're acting like he's this mastermind of sorts, and he's just willing to say all these things, and he's saying these things because he doesn't really mean them. And that's I picked the right frame. That's funny. So him saying, I feel absolutely terrible, you know, the Tyson Fury apologists, and some people they're gonna say, oh, Tyson Fury, he's just saying he feels terrible, and he's just saying he hasn't been training, but he's really training super hard. But that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense, because he just said at the end of the quote, he said, in a week's time, I will feel fantastic. So if you're trying to play possum, so to speak, and you want to appear wounded, then you wouldn't say you're going to feel great. You're not going to do the other parts of the interviews he's recently done where you said, I only need 3 days and I'm going to whoop him. There would be no reason for that. If you're trying to catch someone off guard and you just want to have a poker face and the element of surprise, I get that. Playing possum, I get that. But you're not going to show, you're just going to show the vulnerability and not show the other side. So to me, that shows fear, because he's not congruent with what he's saying and it's inconsistent. So to me, that is fear that is making him do those things, and his dad do these things, say, oh, Fury, I'm worried. Oh, never mind, Wilder's going to be in the ICU. I think he's run out of options, and that's really what it is. And just, it's going to be funny for the people who said Tyson Fury didn't cheat. Then what would they say if the people who said no way, no how, it's impossible that Tyson Fury cheated in the Wilder fights? What will they say if the third fight looks nothing like the second fight? And Tyson Fury, he's keeping the same similar game plan. He looks like he's going to outweigh Wilder, and he looks big. And you guys say Wilder's a big dosser, chicken legs, he can't do nothing. So what's the excuse going to be? Like Antonio Tarver said to Roy, you got any of them excuses tonight? What is the excuse going to be? He's still with the Kronk. He still looks fat, and he looks like he's going to outweigh Wilder. So if Wilder wins and Fury loses, then what are you going to say? I can't wait for this fight. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. Subscribe. I'm out.